Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be building a $150 beast. It's actually $140, and if you use the different flight controller, but with this flight controller it'll be $160. The other flight controller that I'm talking about is the StarF4S. This is the StarF4S, so I bought this in for review and testing. And we're going to be building it on this one. So it's basically kind of the same layout. We've already built the other one with the other $100 50 drone, but this one's going to be a way more powerful one than the previous one. So we're going to see if this can actually compete with something like the Diatone, the new Diatone, and I actually got that in also, if you guys seen my previous video of the mailbag time. So what we're going to do is, the goal of this is to make a $150 drone. This is not including the receiver and your controller, and with all that stuff you can actually get everything here done for like around $210 with the receiver and some goggles. But right now, just over the overall drone without a receiver. The receiver, you bring your own receiver. So let's talk about the components that are going to be used. Currently I'm going to be using, for the flight controller, ESC and OSD and PDB, it's going to be this guy. So this is the StarF4S. So this is a F4 flight controller with a not very sensitive gyro, which is very good. That's what we need. And we have our ESCs here, and these are 30 amp ESCs, as you can see, and it takes 2 to 4S LiPo, and it has a 3 amp 5 volt regulator, which we'll be using to power up our camera as well as our receiver. Now for VTX, what I've noticed is on the previous one is, even with the low ESR capacitor, we had noise, and I was able to solve that with a 12 volt regulator, or just kind of a switching regulator and a low ESR capacitor, and that's what we're going to do from the beginning this time here. So the aim of this is to build a cheap budget quad, as well as just keep it running perfect and see how good this guy actually performs here. And let's talk about the VTX. I'm going to be using the Eachine TX526. It's on sale again for $12. It comes with the antenna. It's a rubber ducky antenna, so that'll keep costs down for you. And sometimes I use them, but the risk of using them is actually that if you crash, it'll break this port right here. So you're going to need to stock up on some of these, because these usually break off on mine, and I've had to repair them. So that's something to note. So this is a very good VTX. I really like it. I usually set it to 600 milliwatts, and it's just perfect. Now for camera, I've decided to try a new one. This is also a $20 camera. It's just like the Foxeer clone that I usually use, but that one sometimes is out of stock and it's hard to find. However, this is an Eachine. It's a CCD camera, which is an HS1177 type camera, as you can see here. And it's rocking, I don't know what sensor actually it has, but it's a CCD camera, and it's 800 TV lines. The Foxeer is a 600 TV line. So we're going to be testing this, and hopefully it's good. However, this one actually, if it's good, it'll keep costs down for me, because usually on every Foxeer camera, I go buy a GoPro lens, and this one already has something of that nature, so we have a larger field of view, and I really can't wait to try this. And plus, we can change the settings from here, which is just perfect, really. So this one's going to be pretty cool, pretty interesting, and this will be our testing. I got 3 of these guys because I really want to test them out, and I have high hopes for this guy. Now, for motors, I'm going to use my favorite cheap motor. It's the Racerstar 2306S 2400 kV. This motor performs like a $100 motor, and this quad's going to scream. It's just going to be a beast. For frame, I'm using the Frog Lite because it's cheaper. It's only $27, but you get a lot for $27. Very good carbon. Very nice flyer. I have a couple frogs in the house now. It's just all around the best budget frame you could actually find online, in my opinion. As of right now, it's $27, and you get just beautiful carbon. I mean, even the looks of it, and it's just so rigid. It's so good, and I believe a lot of people would agree with me that the Frog is a very good frame, and you're getting a lot for $27. I'll tell you, if this cost me $50, I would still go get it, because it's that good. It's just like a $50-$60 frame here for $27. So this is just amazing. And well, that's really it right now. So let's get cracking. So I'm gonna set up the flight controller, or actually I'm gonna open it up real quick, and then we're gonna solder the pads, and then just check out the pads and see how we're gonna organize it. So let me get that out of the way, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and removed the heat shrink, and just don't lose this, don't throw this away just yet, just in case the writing is not clear, but here it seems to be clear. and just so you can also take note of the motor orientation. So this would be in the back. Motor 1, 2, 3, 4, which is perfect beta flight, so we don't have to do anything. So we're just going to stick it in our frame just like this. And you have the arrows up. Here's the OSD chip. It has a couple nice fat capacitors, which is always good. One tantalum capacitor, that's very good. And yeah, overall this seems like a good one. And we do have a coil for the 5-volt regulator, so this is going to be pretty nice, hopefully clean 5-volt regulator, so we don't have any OSD flickers, and as time goes on we will know. So right now the soldering station is heating up, and we're going to prepare the pads, and we are going to take it to the next step. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip preparing these and the battery pads right now, and then we'll check these out and then see what is what. Alright guys, so like I said, good thing we kept this because it's kind of a bit difficult to read. So let's just go over this together here. Alright, where's the... Okay, here it is. Alright, so if we put it like this, then we're able to see. So as you can see, we have our 2 buzzers, which is good. They give us a buzzer port, and hopefully they give us 2 5-volt. So here's the 5-volt ground video out. So the video out here, which is this one, the VO, that would go to your VTX. Ground and video in. Video in is where the camera would connect. And then here, that's awesome. S-bus 5-volt ground. So they give us that right away, separate on the side. So this is actually very good. It's well thought out. You don't get many RX ports, I believe. Let's just take another look at it here. They give us an RSSI, they give us an LED, 5-volt, and another 5-volt here in the ground. That's good. Here's RX6 and TX6. That's good. That's it, really. I think this would, no, not the boot, because the boot is right here. And let's see if there's anything on the other side. It's just basically the ESC on the other side. So it looks pretty clean. Soldering looks nice. It seems very good quality. I've gotten boards that were absolute crap, and I'll be showing you guys very soon. So yeah, it's going to be very simple and very straightforward. So we're going to be taking power for the VTX from here into a voltage regulator, from the voltage regulator to the VTX, and we're going to add a low ASR capacitor. And I really like these holes here, so these are going to be pretty cool and pretty sweet. Maybe they'll help us out in something. And we have our OSD chip. So alright, well, that's good. So I'm just going to prepare the pads here, and we're going to skip this over just because it's very time consuming, so we want to try to keep this video down in time as much as possible. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back. So I want to show you guys a little trick. It might work, it might not work. When it works, it's awesome, but I don't recommend this for newbies. So you just basically do this. Just swipe it across, and then that's it. See? We just got ourselves a nice solder job. We just did 3 pads in like less than a second. So just double checking it. We do have 5-volt and ground bridged together, and it's just a very simple fix here. Just hit it like so. And there you go. That's it. So I learned that from the SMD soldering, but I don't do any SMD soldering anymore. So I'm just soldering ESCs and stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna prepare it. We're gonna you know, I don't know what's up lately, but lately the quads that were running F3 flight controllers with weak gyros have been getting a yaw twitch for me, and the solution is just to put soft mounting basically. And so I'm actually gonna soft mount this guy. So let me soft mount him. I'm gonna get the rubber O-rings. We're gonna soft mount him, put him on the quad, on the frame, and then get the motors, start soldering in the motors, and then we take it from there. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so what I did is I got the rubber O-rings, and then I've placed them here, and they're just going to be perfect. Let me just zoom out a little bit for you guys so you guys can see better. And these screws are not nylon, so it is just aluminum, I believe. So they're possibly aluminum screws or steel, and they do come with a nut here, so it just, you have the screw goes into the nut, it holds everything in place. I put the rubber O-rings, should provide some dampening, and I just stuck these on there real quick because it's easy for me to tighten it so we can start soldering. So right now what I did is actually I grabbed the camera wires. So we're gonna start with the camera wires first. And what's awesome is they actually gave us silicone wires. So I'm just a big fan of people that don't go cheap on us. Well, Eachine's done it, and I really like this cheap stuff. It's good. I mean, you're gonna break them anyways, so why go expensive until you've been flying? I still break everything. I've broken almost every quad I had. Actually, every one of them broken. I had to fix. So yeah. So I'm gonna prepare the wires here for the soldering, and basically what I did is just with my nail, I just removed them, and I'm just gonna add a little solder to them, and then we're gonna go solder them onto the board together, so you guys could follow along. Most of you probably know this stuff, but some people don't, and I really do like helping the newcomers, and yeah, so it brings more people into this hobby. So yeah, because overall it's a very good, very fun hobby. It keeps people out of bad shit, really. So yeah, all right, guys. So I'm gonna prepare these wires, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I think the logic here is a bit weird, but that's totally fine. Let's just double check it. So here's our paper, and here's our trusty tweezers. So we have 5-volt ground video out, but what we need is 5-volt ground video in. So we're gonna skip these two paths, and we're actually gonna go 5-volt ground, and then we're gonna go video in, or it'll be easier that way. Well, I don't. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. 5-volt ground, and then video in. So the yellow line is gonna go here, the black is gonna go here, and the red's gonna go to the 5-volt. So let's do that now. All right, and let me just figure out the best way for me. Here we go, we got the wires all ready. So I'm gonna spin it like this because I am right-handed, and I need the solder to be with my right hand soldering station. So where do they have this? Oh, this is awesome. So I don't know if you guys noticed lately, you know, all the cameras are coming with the port up, and it's very annoying in most frames because when you go to push it down like this, it actually catches or hits or whatever. So this, I'm really a big fan of this, that the port is on the bottom. This is just very good, and it just keeps it very close, and then you see nothing will hit, so it's just beautiful. I missed that. Foxtrot used to do that, and now I don't know why they don't do that. So my previous ones, I really loved those cameras, because it's a real pain in the ass, really, when you're working with the X210 and that thing's up there, you really could break it. All right, so let's just get a good clear view here for you guys, and there we go. Hopefully that'll stay in focus. Should. All right, so 5-volt, as you can see, it's right there, kind of. You could kind of tell it says 5-volt. So we're gonna put the red wire on there, and I don't know if I mentioned, these are silicone wires. The pads are kind of small, so make sure you have your soldering tip clean, because you can risk, see, like right now, this side's clean and this side's not clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the clean side to solder, because I don't want anything jumping anywhere. Okay, that's good. Next one is ground. I should increase the temperature a bit because this is annoying. So I'm going to set it to 380. Let it heat up a little bit, because if it's not hot enough, that little, you know, when it melts and it moves your hand, that'll cause problems if solder goes to a place you don't want it to go. See, and it's not supposed to take this long for me to actually, there we go. That's terrible. Alright, and then as we can see, video in is that last one. So video in is the video feed going into the OSD. Perfect. You see how I increased the temperature and now it fit perfect. However, I would really like to redo the ground here. It's gonna need a little bit more solder. Actually, see, it became flat here, and I really don't want it like that, so I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna redo it. Alright, I'm not gonna add solder on it, so, because it should be good like this, hopefully. We need solder on it. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, tip is clean, somewhat clean. I'm gonna use this side, it's cleaner. Okay, good. So now we got them in. So here we're done with the camera wires, and what's the next step? We are going. I'm gonna leave the VTX for last. So I'm gonna grab the receiver wires now, and we're going to be using iBus or SBus, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be using my Turnigy Evolution on this guy. So let me go grab those wires, prepare them, and then we're going to solder them on here, and then we see what's the next step. Alright guys, so the wire is ready, and it's basically the same process. Red will go to 5 volt, black, usually on all of them, black would go to ground, and whatever your pin is for your SBus or iBus is going to be the other color. Mine's yellow here, so I'm going to stick yellow. Yours might be white or green, but basically the black and red, usually if you're using the same exact correct connector that came with your receiver, is the black would go to ground and the red would go to 5 volt or whatever it is. I mean, unless you're using Spectrum. Spectrum uses 3 volt, I believe. Yes, okay. So we're going to start with, let's see, because this is a bit tricky, so you have to be very careful because the components are so close to each other. Alright, so what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to start with the first one here, and this is a bit difficult, so I'm going to have to do it like this, because I could come in with this like there, and I'm actually going to remove this guy right here, so I don't melt him. Alright, so there we go. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me move it into focus. See the difference now with the soldering station at a little bit higher temperature. I just touched it and it just basically went perfect. So sorry about scooting this down, but it's getting a little bit difficult here. That was not good at all. And we need to add more solder. We didn't put solder, good enough solder the first time. I'm gonna actually redo the pads here. Should be good. Alright, we come back with the SBus or iBus. Man, when is the Tyrannus is gonna stop using that inverted crap? So we can just go anywhere. But lately, anyways, we're getting the F7 flight controllers, so that's gonna be a problem of the past soon, hopefully. Okay, and then ground is our last one. So these are very tiny pads, guys. So I mean, this will just be very careful because you could easily ruin your board, especially if you get solder that jumps somewhere. That'll ruin your board, and you think it's a crap board and all that kind of stuff. And that happens to a lot of people, and takes kind of, you have to take very good care of it. So right now, what we're gonna do is actually all we really need to do is just get a low ESR capacitor, solder our XT60 connector, and get our voltage regulator, and we're basically done. Now, well, yeah, I'm gonna use a voltage regulator because I don't want to come back and take it apart and just add that voltage regulator. Or do we? Well, I'm gonna see if I have a ready-made voltage regulator next to me, and then we'll figure it out from there. But right now, let me get the VTX wires. We're just gonna solder the yellow line, which is the video out. Alright, so I have the wires ready for the VTX. However, we're not going to install the black and red wire just yet because I still have not figured out what I wanted to do. And I think I'm actually going to install the voltage regulator just so we can, if anyone wanted to follow this, they should have clean video from the beginning and don't have to do anything crazy. But actually, you know what? We can install the ground here. So I think we can. Yeah, we should be able to install the ground. All grounds should be common. So we're going to install the video out, which is this one, and the ground, which is right next to it. So let me cut these little wires a little bit shorter. I already prepared them. And then in theory, the red wire would just go to the voltage regulator. So let's start with let me actually zoom in for you guys. These are very tiny. It's going to be easier off camera for you, but for me, it's a little bit difficult here because I have the camera in my face. Okay, so that's in. And then now the black wire. And that's awesome. This wire came off. Perfect. So all we have now is the positive not connected here, and we're gonna run that off the voltage regulator. So basically we're done with the wiring. Now I'm gonna install the motors and extend the wires, and we're just gonna set them up. So should be pretty straightforward now. So I'm gonna skip over that part because I'm gonna have to extend the wires a bit, I believe. So let me just put one motor in. We'll just take a look at it real quick. Alright guys, so as you can see here, they will not reach. See? They won't reach. None of them will reach actually. And this is a true X, so that means all of them won't reach. So we're gonna have to extend the wires, and this is a very painful and long process and very annoying one indeed. This would have been a super simple fast build. We would have been basically done right now. But you know, this is the only drawback that I really don't like with these motors, is that the wires are not that long. So I wish they were a bit longer. So I'm gonna just extend the wires and just connect them. There's no real way to connect them correctly. Just connect all of them as you like, and then you can just reverse it in BL Heli, and that's what I've been doing lately, and I don't have any issues with that. So that should be good. And I think I actually put this wrong. Anyways, I put the CW and the counterclockwise motors wrong, but who cares? So I'm gonna extend the wires, and I'll be right back when that's done, and then we just have it all connected, and then we'll see what's the next step from there with the voltage regulator. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so now we're gonna prepare the I've already done the motors, and we're gonna take a look at that in a little bit, but right now we're gonna prepare the voltage regulator. This is the cheapest one you could find. They come in like packs of 5s. So I've tested these back a while back ago, and then I figured out that when you put them on 8.5 volts, they run the cleanest. So let's just say you put them on 11 volts, you always have this static noise that no matter what you do will always be there. It's not that bad, but it's like just, you know, coming down like this. But it doesn't really bother you, but it kind of bugs you, but it doesn't affect your flying. So around 8.5 volts, I found it to be the cleanest. So right now we're going to prepare it. So if you look at the back, it says in, negative, and positive. So this is going to come in from the battery pad of the flight controller. I'll show you that right now. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to solder on the in plus and in minus. However, I'm going to use black because black is the only silicone wire that I just found right now, and this should be more than good enough. So let me solder those in, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so I put them in, and as you can see, we just put it in like this. So this is going to be the incoming from the battery, and all we have to do right now is after we plug it in, we're going to plug in the battery and get a multimeter, and then just play with this little potentiometer right there until we get 8.5 volts, and that should be perfect for us. So let's take a look at what happened on the quad here. So I've put in all the motors, as you can see, extended the wires, and I've added, there's 2 holes. It's just so awesome, those 2 holes. I put heat shrink on the lines coming from the capacitor so we don't have any shorts, and I just stuck them through there and then just soldered them in. So that was perfect right there. I was very happy how this came out. It's very clean, very nice. It won't get away in the VTX, at least it shouldn't. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually put these 2 on here. So let's just see, in minus, so this is ground right here, as you can see, ground, and that's going to go to the ground, and then this is the positive, and that's going to go to positive. So this is in, and then out, we're going to take, in theory, we should just take this guy, stick him on positive, and we should be good to go. So let's get that over with now. This is going to be a bit tricky because it's very annoying to do these kinds of things when you already have your XT60 connector and your capacitor in. Things can get changed, moved around. It's kind of annoying. So we're going to add a little solder on these guys. And I always recommend when you do such thing like this right now, you increase the temperature, because I'm going to put it like around 470 so it could transfer the heat a lot better. And we're going to give it a little bit of time to actually heat up here. There's 467. That should be more than good enough. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so now we're gonna grab this guy. So make sure we take note of the correct orientation. This is the negative. So we're gonna start with this guy. It should have heated up pretty well. So that's good. You see how it transferred so fast. There we go. Now obviously the other one's gonna be the positive. And I don't like how this one came out, so I'm gonna hit it backwards. Like this. There we go. We got a little movement, but overall we can hit that up later on. We can even do that now if we wanted to. There we go. Perfect. It's not perfect. I mean, I could do a lot better job, but you know, just so we could save time. Now, what I do recommend is you kind of cut these off the bottom here, just because it's going to be it might rip the heat shrink and it might touch something, and you don't want that. But we're not gonna do that just yet now. So right now, what we're gonna do is gonna bring the battery, and hopefully nothing blows up. So here's the battery, and everything should be good. This one we're gonna move out of the way. Just pop up here, so if it smokes, we see it and we call it a day. Hopefully it doesn't smoke. Perfect. That is awesome. So now I'm gonna get the multimeter. Okay. All right, so here's the multimeter, and what we want to do first is actually plug in the power to this guy, and then we're gonna figure out how the hell we're gonna do this for you guys to see everything. So maybe if I drop this guy down here, and we bring this guy, so we want to measure these two right here, and I wish we could touch him somewhere, so this is a bit tricky, and fuck it, just like this. So this is outputting 15 volts. Oh shit. Sorry about my language, guys. Hold on. So, yeah, as you can see, it's outputting 15 volts. So we're gonna start turning the potentiometer around. So we just grab this guy and we just start. Oh, this one's not a good one, I think. Okay, this is maximum, I think. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So. Yeah, we need even a smaller one. Alright guys, so I found we need a flathead, a small flathead here to actually grab a hold of it. So I'm gonna just turn it down. I just went all the way clockwise right now. So we're gonna see what we read here. 0.5 volt. Okay. So we're gonna start turning it the counterclockwise way. Okay. And now we're reading 7 volts, so we're almost there, just a little bit more. Maybe about that much should be good. So let's hopefully get that right. 9.6 volts. I'm just gonna go back a little bit more. Okay, it was around 8.5 volts if I remember correctly, which was very good. 8.2 volts, that's perfect for us. So that's it, we're done here. Let's turn this guy off, unplug the battery. And luckily we didn't smoke or just get shocked while doing this. So I don't really recommend doing it the way I did it, but if you're brave enough, go ahead. Alright, so now we're gonna get heat shrink. Oh no, first we're gonna need to solder the positive to positive here, and or actually maybe just double check it. We're gonna hit it with a small solder just to double check everything that it's working before going to another step here. And out positive is right here. So basically I'm gonna do this with it. This is just a quick temporary hold just so we can test out everything. All right, let me grab everything and I'll be right back. All right, so we're about to plug it in. I have the VTX right there, I have the camera right here, and I have the screen right here. I'll plug in the battery to the screen a bit. So right now we're gonna put the power to the quad, and here's the battery. Perfect, no smoke. Okay, this is lighting up, that's a good sign. A1, we want an A2. There's A2, and now we're gonna power this up. So far, it's, oh, perfect. Perfect, and there's no noise. That's perfect. Yes, I am very happy now. That's just awesome. I'm very happy, guys. You have no idea what the hell happened to me with that DYS F4 all-in-one, that piece of crap. Yeah, this is just absolutely beautiful. So let's just secure this in a better way, and we're basically done, really. Just grab the receiver. I have the receiver right here, plug it in, put the top on, and I think, yeah, that's it, we're done. Wow, that was very quick. So yeah, let's just fix up the wire here and grab a heat shrink. So it's very important. You don't want this just, you know, to be out there. So what I'm going to do also is actually go to the out. Remember, this is out positive. So we're gonna just add some here because that's how I'm gonna install it. All right, now we're gonna grab some heat shrink. This one fit? Yeah, this one will fit. So we're gonna cut this one. I think about here is good. Yeah, that's perfect. There we go. This way we keep it nice and protected, and we reduce the risk of a lot of bad things from happening. So that's very good. So there we go. Now let's put in our power here. So let me actually zoom in for you guys. Maybe some of you want to see this up close. I'm actually going to do it like this so you guys can see. And we're going to use my technique, which is I heat up the pad and hopefully I get it to stick through the hole. And ta-da! Perfect. So now we got a pretty secure connection. We're gonna slip the heat shrink up and then just shrink it, and should be very good. I mean, I'm very satisfied. I'm very pleased with this, how it came out, and this is my second good experience with these cheap all-in-one boards. So I'm very happy, and well, now this is, I mean, just putting it together and turning it on, everything seems to be working. So I'm gonna be flying these a lot, especially these ones, because I want to see how good they are. Can they really hold up for a while? Are they reliable? So far my other one's very reliable, the StarF4S. I had a guy comment me on this flight, hold on, okay, on this flight controller, saying it does have OSD flickers, I think he said. So we're gonna see if that does happen, then we will know, and we will know what to do from there. So basically this is our quad right here. Can you guys imagine? Let me just show you. So this is pretty legit, no? Like, where's the top? Let me just go show you guys. That's it. That's our quad right there. So I'm gonna remove these and just put nuts or something. Yeah, and we're really done. That's it. This is gonna go VTX. This is gonna go to our receiver, and for receiver I'm gonna be using this little guy. This guy. So yeah, it's gonna be a very light build, by the way. So that's gonna be very good. But I wish the frame was lighter. I think the frame was around 103 grams, if I remember correctly. But overall, it's very good. It's very strong, and easy to repair. So I saw lately the frog arms came into Banggood the other day. I was looking through Banggood and I saw them. So I'm gonna just set up the camera and stuff now, and then I'll be right back, and then we just take another look at it. All right, guys, and we are done. It was very simple. So let me show you what I did here. I took the receiver, I used double-sided tape to put them in place. Now I just kept the bind button easy for me to access and the wire. So basically I just remove the wire, remove the camera wire, and then we have this one. Look how nice and neat it is. So it's just beautiful, and it closes perfect, and we have a lot of room inside. This will keep dangling, that's totally fine. We could use double-sided tape and stick it somewhere if we wanted to, but we don't really have to. I just noticed something super awesome about the Eachine camera. So I don't know if any of you used flock sears or the clones, and when you put the screw in there, screws inside the camera, you either get lucky with both of them working or just one side working, and once it strips out, you're basically screwed. This one, I think it has metal, and it just goes in so smooth and it holds so perfect, which I really love. It's kind of like the run cam thing going on here, so they actually thought this through. So I'm very impressed with this camera. That's all I could really say right now. Overall, you know, the field of view is good, and yeah, and just the quality seems good. Silicone wires, everything. They're providing you with some good stuff. So basically we're done here. I'm just going to use tape to hold this down, and once we're finished here, once I just wrap it up and just put in the 4 screws, that's it. We got ourselves a brand new working quad, $150 quad, and this is going to be a beast. So we're going to weigh it. I'm going to finish it up right now, then we're going to weigh it, and then just check it out, and hopefully we take it out for a flight tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so we are done. So all I did was just put tape and then just put the screws for the top here, the side screws, you know, yeah, just put it in. Anyways, so far I'm loving it, and it looks beautiful. I think it's going to be a very good performer, to be honest. I know the frame never let me down. These motors have not let me down yet, and like I said, I'm going to keep you guys updated on every single one of these motors. If I ever crash and break, I'll show you the footage and show you how it broke. So far they've been good. Here's my second quad with these motors. I do believe this is going to be a very good performer, hopefully. The board, I have no idea just yet. This is the first time installing it, first time using it, so this is going to be like the review and official real life testing for this board. The camera, I love the camera so far. I really can't say anything. I just love what I've seen so far from it. Connector on the bottom, silicone wires. These are just going so beautiful. It's so satisfying. I don't know how to explain it. If you use the Fox here, you know what I'm talking about. But it's just so satisfying. It just goes perfect, you know, and it holds in just right. So I'm very happy. The lens, this will cut down cost on me because usually I put GoPro lenses, so the field of view is a lot larger. So overall, I'm very happy so far, but that's all I could really say until we actually take it out for a flight. To be honest, I'm more excited to fly this one than this one. So I have not even put a receiver on this one yet or plugged it in yet. So this one will be upcoming later on. This is pretty heavy, guys. It's like 350 grams right here. So I wonder if they're going to perform just about the same. So maybe, maybe not. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty damn close. So yeah, we have Betaflight OSD, we have current sensor, we have voltage, we have everything we need here. So it's very good. Let's quickly weigh it in real quick and see how much it weighs. If we use the Frog Race, that was a little bit more expensive. The quad would have been a bit more lighter, and probably been a little bit more nimble. So it's 309 grams dry weight, just like this. So that's good. It's not too heavy, but it's kind of heavy. For example, this guy is what, 345 grams. So yeah, so about 50 grams difference. I believe this one should be good. 310, yeah, 309, 310 grams, this one, I believe, yeah. Okay, 309, yeah, it's between 309 and 310, so we could just say 310 grams. And let's just double check this one here. I believe this one's 345 solid. Yeah, 345 maybe. Yeah, 345 grams. This one's 345 grams. So it's not the sexiest, but it's the cleanest, and the frame is awesome. All the components seem to be pretty awesome. These two have not been tested just yet, and this will be our testing. So I'll keep you guys updated, and if anyone decides to do the build and flight before me, let me know how that went for you. And yeah, so that's going to conclude it for this video, guys. I really hope I helped you guys out there, and if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you next time. See you guys. Take care.